It's sitting in a pool of oil. Let's see. You can see how much oil is in this intake. It's probably not a great sign for the PCV system. Here in episode 5 of Project Cheapskate, we've got an instance of while you're in there. See, I was pulling the oil filter housing off, and I noticed I could reach all the way under the intake to get to that little flappy motor, the Disa valve on the inside. I thought, I bet I can get that out. Well, I was wrong. I couldn't get it out. I had to pull the intake manifold. Really, we're addressing this issue because I was getting a random Disa valve fault or intake manifold fault. There are two valves. There's this outside valve and one on the inside, and in combination they can change the length of the runners, creating more torque and more power, better mileage, all sorts of different things. However, they fail like everything else on this car. And you can see there's a little seal on those guys, a green seal in fact, and inside of that seal is the flap. Those flaps are what actually fail in the motor inside. This outside one looked good, the inside, well. Alright, so I've been fiddling with this internal Disa valve for a little while. I thought with the oil filter housing off, it would be relatively simple to get it out. And I don't think that's wrong. I pulled the throttle body, I could get the screws out, but the PCV three-way line that goes to the back of the intake manifold and up to the valve cover, significantly in the way. Feels very brittle and like it's going to break. So I ordered another one. I ordered new gaskets, and I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the manifold altogether because it's also full of oil. So I wanna see what the valves look like and clean things up in here. I pulled off all of my protective covering up here. I didn't film that because most of it was broken, actually. This stuff, it gets brittle and falls apart over time, so it didn't seem relevant to film. Also, unfortunately, a common problem on these older BMWs. Even though this is a 2010, it just doesn't feel old. So next step, we are going to need to get this bracket off here for the airbox. We have to unbolt the T20 on the fuel line in the back here, and then we've got a couple connectors along the way. We've got our map sensor here, and it looks like our harness is attached in the back, and then our vacuum line to the vacuum pump here going to the booster needs to come off. The screw off of the fuel line on the back here. Gonna go out about it blind. Ow, 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 ow. Finger stuck. I know, be a man, don't wear gloves. I like gloves though. Hey, I heard it hit the floor. That's always a good sound. Be really gentle unplugging all these different sensors, especially as the plastic has aged. Harness here. This is the power cable coming up to the jumper port. That looks like a 10 mounted to the back of the manifold. You gotta pop this guy off in the back as well. That's held to a bracket back there on the manifold. That's the back of this harness. These bolts are all 11s. This is a tool I would recommend for something like this. This is an 11mm magnetic socket. When you pull these, oh, that's over torqued. You pull these out, the nuts have a tendency to want to fall. Gee, mini cricket. Somebody, oh, for heaven's sake. I can see it at least. What irony. Use a magnetic socket so you don't lose the nut or bolt. Lose the socket instead. Locking extension, another gold mine to have. Can't lose the socket now. Haha, engine. That one's too tight too. Why are they all so tight? Who took this off last time? Look at that. Nut sticks right to it. Okay, we gotta get that PCV off in the back. I shot some WD-40 on it so that hopefully it will be a little easier to come off. Slowly work that back and forth. This is another one of those blind spots. You can see the area, can't see the screw. Okay, got the harness off, got the perch line. Hey, those valves don't look bad at all. Just a little bit of goo down there. Okay, this is our line for the vacuum pump. Here's the PCV heater down here too. Got to get that connection off. But I think it might come out this time. Ta-da! This was stuck, this was stuck. This was stuck, this was stuck. This is the fuel line. This is a harness. There's the mount to the top of that harness. Looks like everything stayed together and nothing got broken. That is an acceptable outcome. So the whole reason we were pulling the intake manifold off is for the Disa valves. Now obviously the outside valve, you could get it on and off. And this one actually doesn't look bad. I don't know how hard you have to push to move it. So we'll hook it up to the car and we'll use our tester to see if it actuates. The reason I was pulling it off primarily was because I couldn't get this PCV line off. And just now, as I was trying to get it unclipped, you come in close here, you'll see what happens to most people is these get brittle and they turn into little Pac-Mans. So underneath the foam insulative line here, it likes to crack as well, just from this motion in the back. So I'm gonna take the insulation off and I'll take a look at it and see if it's broken. We took our screws out of the Disa valve from the other side after we took the throttle body off, but now, come on, drag this guy out of here. It's sitting in a pool of oil. Let's see, you can see how much oil is in this intake. It's probably not a great sign for the PCV system. And I don't know, this one is open and this one is closed. Well, that's probably not good. So the flap appears to be broken entirely. So I was getting a random Disa or intake manifold adjustment fault. And I'm gonna guess that this is why. This looks like, I don't know what brand this is. Let's see here, it's, this one is a Mall. And this one is a Phoebe. Saw the name somewhere, Phoebe. I ordered a set of Amazon Disa valves because I'm gonna run the risk of putting one of those in here that it's gonna work, hopefully. I ordered an Amazon PCV line as well because it was cheap. Remember, we're trying to make this thing work without spending all the monies on it. The intake manifold is full of oil in here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time and run some brake clean down the runners and into the cavity and see if I can't clean that bad boy up while I'm waiting for my Disa valves to arrive. And then after I get this cleaned up, I'll do a little test on this one and this one, plugging it into the car and actuating it and see if they work. Okay, hit deactivate. Yep, back and forth, but yeah, it doesn't matter because it doesn't work. All right, so here is the primary flap. Go ahead and hit activate. There we go. Now we're opening and closing. And with it open, I can't move that flap. It's, oh,
Oh, sorry.
Did you push the button?
Sorry.
You trying to smoosh my fingers?
Sorry.
Push it again. All right, open, close. Go ahead and close it. That one works. I guess we gotta wait for our other new one to show up. So we'll start by getting our internal Disa valve installed. I took my manifold and cleaned it up the best I could. Now I don't have puddles of oil in here, which should be a benefit to the running condition of this vehicle. And the inside valve only has the 3 screws, and they are 2 shorts and 1 long. If you've kept all your screws together up till now, it should be pretty easy to get everything back together. I kind of made a mess here in the garage with taking everything apart the way I have. This guy presses in here pretty firmly. I put just a little bit of O-ring lube on the O-rings, and man, does it feel like it's going to take a lot of pressure. This thing's going to seal up nicely. I'm going to put a little bit more lube on here just so that I'm not crushing anything as it goes together. One of the things I noticed is a lot of people talk about the pin falling into the intake, but the inside of the intake, it's kind of like sealed off in there to keep that pin from falling out. Now I'm sure it could happen. I remember in the old days, the M52 TU and the M54 engines with the Disa flaps had the same problem. That pin would fall out and there would be catastrophe. Holy macaroni. That guy is tight. Resist the urge to drive them together with your drill. Resist. After what seemed like a substantial amount of effort to get this valve in, I also got our PCV heater reinstalled and cleaned, our map sensor reinstalled and cleaned, and I have our new 3-way PCV valve. When I was trying to get the old one out, I couldn't reach all the way down to this one. So I'm gonna go on the assumption that installing it here first and then snaking it up and around the harness to the back is gonna be the best way to get it in there. So I'm gonna give that a shot. This way I can also make sure that this is clicking in all the way. It's quite firm once it's in there. I can't imagine getting the Disa valve out with this thing installed. You'd have to get it unclipped because there is just no room to get this thing all the way out. This is way too rigid right here. Let's drop this in. And of course, I installed new gaskets here at the top of the runners. I guess we also have to make sure to get our vacuum booster line lined up. I believe it was through the third runner, or in between runners 3 and 4, that it popped up and through. Down below, we have our, let's see, our PCV, or not our PCV, our purge valve connection is going to go on here before the throttle body, then the throttle body, then the Disa valve, maybe the Disa valve, then throttle body. We'll see once it's in. And like I said before, snake this guy up and around the back. So we're just going to go in carefully, try to line all these guys up. And it looks to me like I think I have to go under the fuel line too. Yeah, because the fuel line mounts to the top of the manifold. Be careful of your map sensor there in the back. You don't want it getting caught up, breaking. That would be pretty easy to do. So from here, I can see my connector for the Disa valve down on the bottom and my connector for the PCV heater. I can almost get that one, all those brackets at the back side of the manifold over here. And this main harness lug. All of that's getting, there we go. That was all getting jammed up. Those harnesses in the back, they're gonna be a pickle and a half to get in there. The main harness got jammed up in the O2 sensor plugs on the back. Okay, so before we get it all the way installed, we want to reach all the way to the back, get our fuel line clipped in, get our other connectors back here clipped in down underneath, way at the bottom, before everything is rigidly installed. That way we don't forget any of them. All right, this could be your clue to buy a BMW part. Not the cheap one. We'll see if I can make this work. I'm just trying to gently file the little hold down clip. There it is right there. So I was filing that pin opening there to get that guy to lock into place, and it's locked in tight now. After struggling in the back there for what seemed like far too long, I got the O2 sensors plugged, not plugged in, but clipped back to the manifold. I got the fuel line clipped in back there. That is a pain in the butt to get to that connection. Now, before I go rushing and getting the throttle body on, I want to get the crankcase, not breather, it's the, oh man, the words are gone again. Gas tank breather, purge valve. I want to get the purge valve connected back to the side of the throttle body. It's a tight fit right there. And then we need to reinstall the bolts from our lower harness to the base of the intake manifold. That's down here, this guy. had the two T30s holding it on. Sometimes you can put a pry bar right here and you can pry this thing back and off, but the plastic is so brittle at this age. I pried and I just couldn't get it. This guy uses the fine thread little T30s. Everything else goes into plastic. As you're reinstalling all of this stuff back here, don't make the mistake of putting this bracket all the way on before you put your Disa valve in. This needs to be back or off to get that valve in. Now I can throw the throttle body on, plug it in, get the Disa valve in, test it, and keep on trucking. I did order a new gasket for this, but it came with the old style gasket, so I'm reusing this one. Just like the other O-rings that I'm gonna hope I don't get any leaks. And I'm gonna plug this in first because it's kind of hard to reach. Torque those down to a good snug. I had to modify this one as well. Right there, all I did was I extended the opening so that when I put the pin in, it locks. If you're one of the cool cats that can get that internal valve out without pulling the manifold, let everybody know in the comments how you get past that three-way PCV line back there, because I sure would like to know. We're getting close to firing this thing up. We just have to finish attaching our intake manifold. Now that we've gotten everything reattached, I reattached the boot off camera. I still haven't connected the PCV line in the back because I need to reach around all of these different things to get to the bolts. So let's drive these bolts in and clear our fault memory. Then we should be just about ready to start it and see what happens. Remember that magnetic socket? That's a lifesaver here. Torque that down to this foot-pounds right here, and then move on. Let's see, I find the brake pedal, and here we go. Oh, it started. Running a little wacky. Okay, so the big question is, can you get the Disa valve on the inside of the manifold done without pulling the manifold? Well, you might be able to. I couldn't get it. The darn three-way PCV line was in the way. I couldn't get past it. Once I got the manifold off, it was pretty easy. Time will tell if these Amazon version, if they work well, if they don't work well, if they set faults, I don't know. I feel like it's worth the risk for the price of this vehicle. I'm not a lot of money into this car at this point, so I'm taking the risk. I still have one big job that is staring me in the face. It looks like I'm gonna have to do a cam bearing seal on the intake side for the Vanos problem. That's occurring in another video that I'm working on now. But man, I'm gonna drive it, enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching.